You're getting ready to hear me say something that I almost never say. And I'm probably not going to say this again anytime soon, which is why we have things like rewind and play on these videos here. But I'm going to tell you, the Republicans, for once, or one of the rare few times, actually came useful and actually helped us with something. Let me tell you just what that thing was. Let me give you the breakdown of what's going on here in the Michigan governor's race in 2022. Keep in mind, the current governor, the incumbent, is Democrat Gretchen Whitmer. Now, there's a guy by the name of James Craig who was the Republican that was set to be the nominee because they thought that he was the Republicans' best chance of beating Whitmer, from Michigan. Now, this guy had been the chief of police for three different departments. He was the chief of police in Portland from 2009 to 2011. And then from 11 to 13, he was the chief of police for, Cincinnati. Cincinnati. And then from 2013 to 2021, he was the chief of police for Detroit. Now, it recently came out that he didn't even have a police license. Yeah, a guy who is chief of police for three different police departments. I mean, I don't know. You figure it out. I don't know how nobody got that in him. But, and not only that, he got kicked off the ballot because they found out that he was gathering fake signatures for his petitions. So initially, him and Whitmer they were both tied. They were both at 44%. When they found out that about him not having the police license, that changed the polls from 46%, which is her, to his 41%. And this whole thing about him getting kicked off the ballot, that just really did it for him. Now, here's what the Michigan Republicans decided to do. They are deciding to run 4 now, Republicans against her. And those 4 Republicans are Soldano. That's Garrett Soldano, Ryan Kelly. Why is this thing doing this? And Kevin Rink. And Tudor Dixon. Now, here's the messed up part about it. Here's what's really messed up. Let me start by telling you that, Whitmer's job approval rating went up a bit. So 56% approve of her, 36% I think disapprove of her, and the rest of them are undecided or they don't care or don't know or whatever it might be. So keep in mind, like I said, James Craig, he was at 44% in the polls. Now he's gone. Each of these Republicans that the Republicans are running against her, they're in the 20s. Soldano is at 22%. Kelly is at 23%. Rink is at 24%. But guess who the Republicans want to run? They want to run somebody against Whitmer who has an even less chance to beat her. They want to run a lady named Tudor Dixon, who apparently is a conservative media personality. Tudor Dixon is only at 21%. Whitmer is at 58%. Whitmer is crushing her. So 58, 21, the difference is 37. Republicans, I don't know what they were thinking on that. But hey, it helped us. It helped us, and it's helping Whitmer. I'm sure Whitmer's happy about it. I'm sure she's thanking them in privacy or thanking them, in secrecy. Now, why are they approving of her job? Why are her ratings going up? Well, let's see. Let me just give you a list of some things that she has done. She announced an executive directive intended to make 200,000 more workers eligible for overtime pay. She went to court to try to stop a crude oil pipeline plan through the Straits of Mackinac, approved under her predecessor. She reformed no-fault auto insurance. She saved citizens, Michigan citizens, $120 a year on auto insurance. I personally think that, because auto insurance is just so damn expensive in Michigan. I think Michigan is like the number one highest with auto insurance. We could save more, but it's a start. We'll start right there. We'll go on more from that point. She said, fix the damn roads. And as you can tell, the damn roads are getting fixed a lot of places. I think they need to use new material. But again, it's another start. It's good progress where we're going in that direction. She signed a bill that increased access to emergency insulin. She signed a bill that expands college scholarship eligibility. She united Democrats and Republicans to pass the largest K-12 funding increase for students in Michigan's history without raising taxes. Criminal record expungement. She signed legislation that will automatically clear certain criminal convictions from public view in Michigan while also making more people eligible for expungement through the application process. She ended the tampon tax. She signed a bill to legalize internet gambling and sports betting. She signed a bill to reform the criminal justice system by raising from 17 to 18 the age at which accused offenders are routinely treated as adults. She put out a budget that expands low or no-cost childcare to 105,000 more children, a couple more. Put out a budget that gives a one-time $1,000 bonus to childcare workers. Put out a budget that generates about $40 billion in private investments. And she announced $3 billion in refunds for Michigan drivers. I think each Michigan driver is supposed to get about $400. We can go for a little more than $400, but hey, I'll take it. I'm not going to argue against that. So to all these people that sat there and said she has no chance of getting reelected, and now the Republicans are running somebody against her who is 37 points down below Whitmer, and now most of the state approves of her process, and they're approving of what she's doing. Well, guess what? Everything that I just read to you right there, not to say she's perfect, or not to say that she hasn't said or done anything wrong, but that's a great list right there. And this tells you that when you do good things, your numbers go up. That's simple math. Now, do I think that there's plenty of other things that she could and should be doing? Yeah, let's say the Michigan minimum wage right now is about $9.87, and I think that should go, if she did an even, let's say, hell, 11 or 12 or $13, I would say even if she did like 11 or 12 an hour, that's a good jump right there. Michigan right now is about $52 billion in student debt. If she canceled like, say, $10 billion of that, or if she canceled like some medical debt, I think Michigan's medical debt right now is like $713 million, I want to say. Canceled a couple million of that. If she did those things, her reelection is, her chances of getting reelected are even greater than somebody like Bill Clinton's was. He was already a lock-in, and Republicans admitted defeat to him. But this is a great list right here. So she's done all these great things right here. She's crushing every candidate in the polls by at least 30 points. And by the way, James Craig, with that whole thing with fraudulent signatures, that's funny, because I thought Democrats were the ones who did the voter fraud, but we're not going to open up that can of worms right now. So that's just the news that I want to give all of you. So Whitmer is crushing it, but let me end it by telling you this. Do not get complacent. I say this in every single video. I cannot stress this enough, okay? If George Bush and Donald Trump proved anything, it's that when people stay home, especially Democrats and independents, Republicans tend to win, okay? I clearly remember when I thought for sure that John Kerry was going to win 2004. He didn't. He won the popular vote, but Bush got the electoral, and we know how that went. There was a repeat of that with Hillary and Trump 2016. Hillary popular, Trump electoral. People don't stay home. I don't care how confident you are. that your candidate is going to win, get out there and vote for them anyway. Because when you don't, everybody feels that way. You end up losing. We end up getting the wrong person elected. We can't keep going through that. Whitmer is crushing these polls. Get out there and vote. Everybody stand behind her because she is getting reelected.